Okay, so Paul Rudd then or Paul Rudd now? What's up, y'all? So it's officially April and almost Taurus season, which means it's almost my 40th birthday, which I'm very excited about. I'm turning 40, y'all. I was an 80s child. I was born in 82. The 80s was really a rad time. But there's also so many things about living right now that I do absolutely love that I'm not sure I could live without. I mean, I'm sure I could, but I wouldn't want to. So I'm going to play the ultimate game of this or that, 80s versus now. Tubular. Okay, so crimped hair from the 80s or blowout now. If you don't choose crimped, we can't be friends. Who doesn't pick crimped hair? Crimping is always cool, especially if you crimp with braids and like a little, it's just kind of wild. That's my favorite look. Original Star Wars or modern Star Wars? Look, I don't want to upset anybody, but I've only seen the original Star Wars. Talking for hours on a corded landline like you're in Roseanne, or cell phone and video chat. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it was, no, I was gonna say I like the landline. I thought that was cool. But then like you had to share your house, like everybody would jump on. That was annoying. So I would say video chat, not even cell phone. I'm really into FaceTiming. Or the like texting with like just talking into it. Like, I don't want to take time to type anymore, and I don't want to, it's like the easier technology makes it like, why would we not lean in? I'm a big fan of that. I FaceTime probably my mom and sister every day. Okay. Heartthrobs then? Oh, that's like Keanu Reeves, Rob Lowe, Brad Pitt, John Bon Jovi, Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is still now. What? There's a lot of these that are still now. John Cusack. Oh. Heartthrobs now. Ooh, Chris Hemsworth, Jason Momoa. Oh my God, Timothy. Okay, Robert. Ooh. Put those beautiful worlds together. Let's just call it Fantasy Island, shall we? Like, it's like, men, y'all do get, some of you get better with age. Oh God, I'm in between. I think my favorites here might be Robert Downey Jr. and Jason Momoa. I think he's adorable because he was really sweet with my kids and I was like, that's nice. I like him. I mean, heartthrobs are heartthrobs, whether you were in Bop magazine or People. Making a mixtape or making a Spotify playlist, absolutely making a mixtape. It's something tangible. Don't you miss when you can just hold things? I loved a mixtape. Colorful 80s activewear. Look at that, like, let's get physical picture. This was the original Beyonce move, it feels like, in this 80s thing. Yeah, single ladies. This is where her inspiration was from. Or matching modern activewear. I'm gonna say that's a little crazy. The 80s, it was a lot of color coming at you at once. I did like a leg warmer though. But I'm gonna have to say modern activewear. There's better like sucking you in parts, like with the spandex now. Maybe not matching. Classic Disney animations. Ooh, or Disney Pixar today. Here's the thing, I love today's animation. I think it is really rad. I like how more broad it is too and inclusive, but I will say, I think those songs were just so epic from back in the day. Other than like, actually, there's some really great songs there recently too, especially like Encanto. I know that whole, but I think it's maybe because I was a child when I learned like Lion King, like Beauty and the Beast, like all those things. Like, I think it was just the age thing. So I think I'm always gonna go classic Disney. Yep. But I do love the current stuff because I watch a lot of it with my kids. And I watch even when they leave the room sometimes. Okay, the excitement getting a roll of film developed. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Or photos instantly available on your phone. Here's why I'm gonna say 80s, because we have so many photos on our phone. What are we gonna do with them? What are we doing with them? Why do we keep taking pictures? We don't make books. You say you're gonna make a book. Who has time to make all these books? We have a lot of photos. And we're always like capturing everything as if it's not valid unless we picture. It's like, why don't you just use your mind sometimes, people? I don't understand, like, just enjoy the moment. Like, you don't always have to have your phone out. I sound 40, whatever. But anyway, I will say, developing film, the greatest part of that was you would find roles from who knows when. And it would just be in some box randomly in your closet and you'd be like, what's on here? And then it's exciting because you go get it developed and you're like, oh, I did have fun at that party. Okay, so Paul Rudd then or Paul Rudd now? You should know this about me. I don't like boyish looks. I like men with like salt and pepper. I like a grown ass man, okay? I don't want to feel like I'm possibly babysitting you. So yeah, I don't like the clean shaven, that's not my thing. So definitely Paul Rudd now. Yep. Going to the mall or shopping online. Here's why I'm gonna say shopping online, because when I went to the mall in the 80s, I was poor. So there's a thing and it's called window shopping. And that's when you go to the mall and pretend you have money, but you literally just walk by all the stores and look at the pretty displays in the windows. So yeah, I'm gonna say shopping online is great, especially for like a single mom. It's nice, right? Okay. I don't have time to like just keep running out to Target or wherever, like back and forth. It's just nice. It comes to your house. It's nice. Going to Blockbuster on a Friday night or streaming movies at home. Streaming movies at home is pretty great because it's just accessed quickly. But I will say I did always love when we go to Blockbuster because they always had candy. And you could get like Junior Mints or like Twizzlers sometimes. And I always loved returning them. My mom would be like, okay, before we go to like the grocery store, which it was right next to, Albertsons and Burleson, and I would run in and I loved that little thing. It felt like I was in London giving mail to someone. Okay, things only 80s kids would know. Here we go. Oh, these are slap bracelets. Oh my God. Isn't it funny that this was a thing? You like have to beat your wrist with something and then it wraps around and we were like, these are awesome. I like snap bracelets. Those were pretty cool. Oh my God, Trapper Keepers. I just got images of Lisa Frank and unicorns and dolphins. Like they were ever, or cats. They would have like in lasers. I loved a Trapper Keeper. I literally just heard the sound of it and the Velcro in my head like while saying Trapper Keeper. I was really big on covering my books as well. Remember we used to do that? You'd cover your books. I don't know why, but like I just use old newspapers. And then what you'd find out is that bleeds on everything, especially when it rains when you live in Texas. But I found that out a little too late. What? This is amazing. If your like tape came out of the cassette and then you'd want to wind it back in there and you do the little, that is something only a person 40 would know. What I used to do with my cassettes, this is before Napster and like downloading music, you could press play record and you could also push this little thing in on your tape and you could record your voice onto, that's my very first demo. That's how I did it on a cassette. But so basically, I think what we've learned here today is sometimes that classic nostalgia, you can't beat it. And I often think it's also because it was something that relates to your memory bank, so it's like special. But also I think that technology is cool, but sometimes it takes, it's too much and it takes away some, like even the photos, y'all, what are we doing with all of them? I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go print some out though and put them up in my house now that we're talking about it. But let me know in the comments what you would choose and subscribe to my channel for more radical content, dudes. Nice, nice, I like it. All right, have a good one, y'all.